we finally figured it out. The doctor prescribed me a medicine to take every 6 hours. It's supposed to help with the pain and alleviate my illness. The nurse, she was excellent. At first I hated to have her do it. My illness was turning me into a person I didn't recognize. Moody, temperamental, and impatient. But the nurse kept giving me my tiny little blue green pills, cleaning me up, and telling me everything was going to be fine. But then my symptoms, they started to worsen. My nose would bleed, my stomach would cramp, and bruise up. So the doctor came and looked. Figured it could be solved by increasing the medicine. So I began taking it every 4 hours instead of 6. Well, the nurse, she had some errands to run and missed my pill. I was in pain, so I dragged myself out of bed to go get them myself. I grabbed a hold of the pill bottle. It fell on the floor. I was in shock. The pills, the ones that I was supposed to be taking, were white. I'm the last one here. Those things, they've killed everyone else. Those things with huge wings, beady eyes, sharp claws. Every time I close my eyes, I see my coworkers being ripped apart. A few of us made it to the building, but even here we aren't safe. I watched them get picked off one by one too. Now I'm running through the building to the main power center, but no one else to ask. I'm tasked with pressing a button. The red button will shut all of the doors, and I'll be safe. The green button will open everything up. The problem is, I'm colorblind. I needed a job, and fast. I had just lost my job of 15 years. The company went out of business. I knew I was going to have to find something quick, but according to the want ads, there really wasn't much in my area. I was concerned I would have to relocate, but I saw an ad for Borgia Foods. It said, "Be a part of our family. Join Borgia Foods today. Great pay, great benefits." So I called it, set up an interview. 2 days later, I was being escorted around the factory. They were explaining that they exported foods to 20 different countries. It was a really big company, and this was a wonderful opportunity. So, as we were making our way through the end of the tour, I asked how much I would get paid. And they laughed. They said, "No, you're not going to be an employee. You're going to be part of Borgia Foods." 2 other men grabbed a hold of me and started dragging me towards the assembly line, where I was going to be processed. I'm haunted by a memory. The memory of all of my loved ones dying in horrible ways. The screams, the pleas, the horror is etched into my brain. The problem is, these aren't my memories. There's something, a demon, a monster, I don't know. It has me pinned down on bed. It's forcing these memories into my brain, forcing me to relive horrors that I never experienced. I'm convinced there's a snake living in my tub. Not in the tub itself, more like in the pipes. Whenever I'm in the bathroom, doing my business, I hear a hissing sound coming from the spigot in the tub. At first I thought, it's got to be some form of air or water trapped in there, and it's just making the noise. But you know how your brain is. I'm convinced it's a snake. Well, today, I was in there and I heard the noise. I walked over to the tub, and sure enough, out of the spigot, this big snake, it started uncoiling from the drain. I screamed. I ran out of the room, composed myself. There really can't be a snake in there, you know? I went back in. There was nothing. I looked all over the place. Anywhere that it could have hidden. I turned the water on, figuring if it was still in the drain or in the spigot, it would come back out. But it didn't. Then I heard it again. I put my head closer to the tub, but it wasn't coming from the tub. I turned around behind me, at the bathroom door. Between me and the exit is the snake. It's huge. It's about 10 feet. But he brought a lot of his friends. I don't know what to do. They're starting to come towards me. It started last night. My light in my bedroom started to flicker. I was annoyed, figured it must have been power fluctuation, that it would fix itself. But 10 minutes later, it hadn't. I figured, okay, bulb must be going bad. So I turned the light off. Went downstairs, got a new bulb. Came up, replaced it. Same thing. Started to figure it might be something with my fuse box, but it was only affecting that light. I thought it was odd, but turned it off just to be on the safe side. Next day, I went to look at it, still doing it. It was then that I noticed it wasn't random, it was a pattern. The more I looked at it, the more familiar it looked. It was Morse code. I got out a pen and paper. I started writing down what it said. I dropped the pen on the floor. It's saying, I can see you, over and over and over again. There's this spooky playground on the outskirts of town. Most people don't go there because it's so far away from the center of town, and there are several others that are far better. What makes this one kind of weird is all the little metal children. There's a bunch of little statues made of metal. They look like children, almost as though they're running, maybe playing. But their faces, they're kind of weird. They look more scared than playing. Well, I had some time to kill. Didn't want to be around a lot of people. So I decided I was going to spend the day at this particular park. Nobody ever goes there. So, I'm sitting on the monkey bars, and I hear something. I look around. There's nobody else around. So I go about reading my book. Well, I hear the noise again, but this time it's closer. I look down. The monkey bars, they're moving a little bit. I figure, oh, they're about to break, so I get ready to get down. But as I grab a hold, they grab a hold of me. I'm shocked. I don't understand what's going on. But the metal of the monkey bars, it's wrapping itself around me. I don't even get a chance to scream. I fall to the ground, half now covered with metal. But my legs, they're still free. I start to run. I only make it a few feet before the metal continues to envelop me. I try to let out my final scream, but I can't. I'm now motionless, standing next to the other statues of children. I had cable installed in my house. Guy came out, was very friendly. Had the cable company's name on the side of his truck, had all the equipment he needed. Within an hour and a half, I was up and watching TV. Everything was good. Until I happened to be watching this program. It was talking about companies that had recently went out of business. And one of them was a cable company. I thought, well, maybe somebody bought them and they just hadn't got around to changing their trucks yet. Didn't think anything else of it. Till I didn't get a bill the next day. Or the next month. 3 months after, I called. There was no number. It was disconnected. I see this cable truck driving around all the time now. He doesn't seem to be installing cable though. He seems to be looking for something. Or at something. I don't know. It's weird. Well, one time I flagged him down. He looked at me like I was crazy. Said he never installed cable in my house, but I know he did. He drove off. I think something's seriously wrong here. The news has been talking about a rash of thefts. I think maybe this guy is his way of casing the joints. I don't know, but it's 12 in the morning. I see the cable truck across the street. There's this creepy house in town. Now, it doesn't look traditionally creepy. It's well kept, fresh paint, lawn's always mowed, everything always looks new, pleasant. It's what's at this house that makes it the creepiest. You see, there are mannequins there, everywhere. I've never seen the owner, but they have regular upkeep of the house. The mannequins, their clothes always change. So, obviously somebody must live there. But I always get a creepy feeling whenever I go by that place. There's been some strange occurrences in town, like missing pets, the like. I think it's the mannequins. But obviously, nobody would believe me. That's crazy. But one time, there was a missing dog. And I remember this dog. I used to pet it on my walk all the time. It had a very distinct collar. One time, I was brave enough to walk closer to the porch of the house. There were mannequins sitting there too. And one of them had the collar in its hand. But the worst thing that's happened, there was a train. It derailed near town. Hundreds of people lost their lives. They determined the cause was some of the rail spikes were missing. On a whim, I snuck up to the house. I could see 3 mannequins on the porch. Each of them held a rail spike tightly in their hand. I think they're onto me. Last night I went to see a music venue at the local bar. Friends showed up, and we were on our way, but we were in a rush. I was trying to remember if I had everything I needed with me, but they, rushed me out the door. A few drinks in, we were enjoying the concert, but I realized my phone wasn't in my pocket. I checked the table I was sitting at, the bar, the bathrooms, no luck. I asked my friend if I could use his phone. I called my phone. After 2 rings, someone answered. They gave out a low, raspy giggle, and then hung up. They didn't answer again. Eventually I gave up, figuring whoever stole my phone wasn't going to give it back. So I tried to enjoy the night as I could. After the concert, I made it home. Said bye to my friend, he dropped me off. Went upstairs. Put my keys on the nightstand, right next to my phone that had just been sitting there. I felt the hairs rise on the back of my neck.